All right, let's just dive right into it. A huge special welcome to our grade 10 students tuning in today. I'm talking to you, Ayusha and Mol, Arben, Kushi, Unisha, Sawani, Shreya, and Rubika. I am so incredibly pumped you're here. Because today, we're unpacking a really gorgeous, almost cinematic explainer on an absolute masterpiece by the legendary Rabindranath Tagore. It's called Leave This Chanting and Singing. And honestly, this isn't just some old poem we're analyzing for a grade. It's literally a life-altering shift in how we're asked to look at the world and, our place in it.
So, Section 1. Where is true spirituality?
Often from a really young age, we're taught these super specific rules about what it means to be a quote-unquote good or holy person. We're essentially handed a rule book. But Tagore, he actually asks us to look a little deeper than that instruction manual. So think about this. Is prayer alone really enough to become a good person? I want you to just let that sit for a second. Let it really sink in. Like, if someone spends all day sitting alone in a room reciting prayers, totally cut off from society, and they literally never interact with the outside world, are they really fulfilling their ultimate purpose as a human being?
Which brings us right to the next big question. Can helping people also be a form of worship? What's super fascinating here is this really powerful implication that true spirituality might not exist in quiet isolation at all. Actually, scratch that. It might live completely out there in the open, in the dusty, sunlit, noisy, totally messy, real world. Keep that thought simmering in the back of your mind as we start looking at Tagore's actual words.
Moving on to Section 2. Beyond the temple walls.
So, this brilliant poem opens with a super direct, honestly almost shocking command to strictly religious folks. Tagore just tells them to stop. He's like, stop the chanting, stop the singing, put down the prayer beads, and open those closed doors. He's actively pushing us to step way outside our traditional comfort zones. Just look at this striking contrast. On the left, you've got these lonely, dark corners, closed temples, the endless chanting, and empty rituals. It feels so isolated, right? Almost kind of heavy and suffocating. But then, transition with me over to the right. Bam! Bright sunlight, rain pouring down, farmers out there tilling the land, laborers literally breaking stones. You can practically feel the heat, the sweat, the sheer vitality of life just pouring out of it. Tagore is basically telling us, hey, God isn't hiding away in those dark little corners. The divine presence is right out there in the blazing sun, standing shoulder to shoulder with the workers.
So the real kicker is, what do we actually need to let go of to find this real, raw connection? Well, Tagore urges us to ditch the superficial stuff. Take a look at this list. Pride, super expensive holy clothes, flowers, incense. He literally wants us to strip all these empty items of religious ritual completely away. And why? So we can actually humble ourselves, so we're not walled off by fancy clothes or huge egos, and we can actually get down and join everyday people in their daily struggles. Section 3. Finding God in hard work. Let's read this amazing quote together. God lives among hard-working people, where farmers till the land and laborers break stones under the hot sun and rain. Try picturing that in your mind's eye, almost like a wide shot in a movie. Imagine panning across this vast, sun-drenched, dusty rural landscape, and you just see ordinary human beings doing honest, totally backbreaking labor. The sweat, the dirt, the sheer effort. Tagore is saying that is where the divine is truly present, not on a pedestal, but breathing and working right alongside humanity. Now, you're definitely going to run into a very specific vocabulary word when you're studying this piece, and the imagery brilliantly illustrates it. Deliverance. In this context, deliverance simply means spiritual freedom. But here's the absolute key takeaway. This spiritual freedom, you cannot achieve it through isolation. There's no way. You don't get it by hiding away in some quiet room. True spiritual freedom requires active connection. It takes deep humility, and it absolutely demands working right there, side by side, with the poor and the hardworking. Section 4. Service to humanity. Okay, if you remember literally only one thing from this entire explainer, let it be this central theme right here. Service to humanity is true worship. It is such a massive, completely paradigm-shifting message. Tagore is out here promoting absolute equality. He's championing social service over everything else. He's basically telling us that practical spirituality isn't something you find buried in a textbook or a hymn. It's found in our daily actions and exactly how we treat one another out in the real world. Let's break this big message down into some real actionable takeaways. Number 1, respect workers. Number 2, help humanity. 3, avoid blind rituals. And 4, believe in practical spirituality. Just imagine yourselves as students going out into a village and actually helping the workers there.
Maybe you're bringing them fresh water, maybe you're helping carry a heavy load, or maybe you're just showing them genuine eye-to-eye respect. According to Tagore, that action right there, that raw human connection, that is the absolute ultimate form of devotion.
And finally, Section 5, the Grade 10 Pop Quiz.
All right, Ayusha, Anmol, Arbin, Kushi, Onisha, Sawani, Shreya, and Rabika, wake up. Let's see how well you've absorbed Tagore's incredible message today. Question number 1. Where does the poet say God is actually found? I'll give you a second. Go ahead and shout it out in your head.
Yes, among hardworking people. If you got that, phenomenal job. You are tracking right along with Tagore's vision for sure.
Okay, let's keep this momentum rolling. Question number 2. What does the poet criticize? Try to think back to those lonely, dark corners we talked about a few minutes ago. Exactly. Blind religious rituals. He desperately wants us to leave those empty practices in the dust. Because remember, spirituality is all about taking action in the real world, not just doing isolated, repetitive meditation. Moving right along to question number 3. What is the main theme of the poem? Now, this is the big one. It's the absolute core of our whole explainer today.
Service to humanity. Beautiful. There is just such profound beauty in stepping up and helping ordinary human beings. And that is exactly the realization Tagore wanted to wake up inside of us.
All right, last question to really lock in that key vocabulary term we covered. What does deliverance mean in the poem?
Spiritual freedom! Amazing job, Grade 10. You guys absolutely crushed that quiz. It is so clear that you've grasped the true, beating heart of this masterpiece.
Before we wrap things up today, I want to leave you with one final, pretty big thought. How will you step out of your own dark corners to serve humanity today? You see, true spirituality isn't just something we sit and study in a classroom. It's something we actively do. Take Tagore's idea of practical spirituality. Walk right out into the sunlight and see how you can help the world around you. Let it inspire your actions today. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and hey, keep learning out there.